Hey everyone, welcome to this quick demo on how document understanding can simplify business document management. Think about all the files, the invoices, contracts, records, buried in folders across system, PDFs, text files, even images, all filled with important data. Manually handling them, it is slow, error prone, and costly. In this demo, we'll show you how to extract that data automatically using our no-code platform. No templates, no rules, just smart API that understands your documents. For this demo, we'll be using PDF file that contains information about packaging guidelines. As you can see, this PDF includes a variety of data, different text formats, various font sizes, custom designs, and even tables. Now let's want to share this PDF content on web page, send it as formatted data in an email or chatbot, or store it in structured, readable format. For that, we need to convert the content into clear format. For this demo, we will fetch documents directly from SharePoint, then run them through our document understanding pipeline, finally deliver the clean, structured data into SFTP for downstream processing. Whether you're in healthcare, finance, legal, or retail, this workflow is designed to handle your document type. So first, we will start from the data source. Here, we will select API and choose SharePoint as the data type. You can also select any other source depending on where your file is located. Now we need to fill in all the required fields. Once that is done, click on Test to confirm what kind of data we are getting from the source. After a successful test, click on Next. It will redirect us to the operation page. Now we're on the operations page. Here we will first use the single to multi-line operation. Why? Because if you look at the source data, it comes under the value key inside the Bizdata dataset response, and it's in a single line format. That's why we're using the single to multi-line operation. In this step, we will pass the correct key path that points to the value key. Once we do that, now check the output. You can see that all the data under the value key is now displayed in multi-line format. Also, if you look closely, you'll see that our file data includes a URL path. But before we can use this data, we need to encode it in base64 format. And now I'll drag the base64 encoding operation into the pipeline. Click on the operation. In the properties, we'll pass the key name. That is the key whose data we want to encode. Once the key name is added, let's check the output. Now, if you look at the output, you'll see that the key we passed for encoding now contains the base64 encoded data of our file. That means we're ready to fetch the actual content from the PDF file at the source. Let's do it. To fetch the content from the file, we'll use an API. So go ahead and drag the API operation into the pipeline. Here, I'm selecting Create New to set up fresh API connection. Next, I'm assigning names to the request. You can give your request any name based on your project needs or preference. Once these details are filled, click on the Test tab next to the Systems tab. Inside the Test tab, required details in the request body, we will pass the key name that holds our encoded data. So here, we're using the Document Understanding API to fetch the data from the file. We are passing the encoded data key that contains our file content. Let's run this API and check the result. Okay, in the API response, you'll see that the content from the PDF file is available inside the extracted data key. This key is nested inside the Bizdata dataset response section, but as we know, we only need the extracted data key because it holds the actual file content. To fetch this key, we'll use the data extractor operation. So search for a data extractor in the operations list, then drag it in pipeline. Now click on the data extractor operation. Go to the properties section. Here, pass the key that you want to extract. In this case, it's the extracted data key. Okay, let's run it and check the output in the console. Okay, as you can see now, the output only shows the extracted data key with our file content, just as we wanted. Now, to store this content, we first need to encode it using base64 encoding. And now for the next step, we'll add the base64 encoding operation into the pipeline. In the properties panel, we need to pass the key name that holds our file content. In this case, it's the extracted data key. Go ahead and run the operation. Once it's done, as you can see, our file content is now successfully encoded in base64 format. That means we're ready to move forward. So now close the console and click the next button. It will redirect you to the target page. And now we are on the target page. First, we will add the target type. Here, select API as the target type. Just below that, you will see the target data section. Click on target data and choose the option create new. We'll use this to create new API connection for our data target. You need to enter the required values in the data target name type SFTP, because that's our chosen target destination. Then in the business object, enter create file. Since we are going to create new file, once you have entered the name and business objective, scroll down to the next section. Here you will need to enter the request URL along with the necessary headers and authentication tokens for the request. In the body, we will provide the details required to create the connection with our data target. This includes the key name that holds our base64 encoded data. That is the data we want to send and store. Once all the required fields are filled, scroll down again and click the next button. The summary page will open. Here, you need to provide the integration bridge name and description. In this case, I am entering the name as a capture document data and send to target system. For the description, explain the purpose and flow of your integration. Once done, scroll down and click the update button to save your integration bridge. You will now be redirected to the integration bridge page where you can see the bridge details like name, source, target, and status. To run your integration bridge, click the Run button. Once triggered, you will see message, service started successfully. Monitor the execution live. Click on the Live Service Logs button and check the real-time logs of your run. The logs page will open. Here you can view all the logs related to your run, including detailed messages, status updates, and the final summary of how many records were processed. So here, as we know, we're working with PDF that contains detailed information about the packaging guidelines. This document includes a wide variety of data, different formats, multiple text sizes, custom layouts, and even structured tables. Now, this type of content isn't directly usable for automation or downstream processes. That's exactly where the Document Understanding API comes in. It helps us extract all of this rich content, clean, structured format. Now, if you look at the output, the data extracted from the PDF is structured and clearly formatted. This makes it ideal for business use cases. Whether it's displaying content on websites, sharing structured details over email, or integrating clean data into internal systems by converting complex documents into clean format. And yes, all the images from the document are also extracted in base64 encoded format. This means image data can also be captured using our Document Understanding API. This concludes the entire flow, from fetching the document to extracting structured content, including both text and images. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.